Recently, I made a video called The Social Contract of Online Gaming. And while editing that video, I thought about this video. A video talk about the failure of LFGs, or looking for group for those not familiar with the acronym. Now, this isn't to say the idea of LFGs are bad or that the LFGs have failed, because it's actually a great idea and has been implemented very well. And not just the games themselves that have their own built-in LFG, but also consoles and Discord, and things of the like that also have built-in features or is used to have a feature of an LFG. LFGs serve a very good purpose. Gamers are always talking about how hard it is to make friends, to find groups to game with. So many people who play games like Destiny have never done raids because they don't have enough friends, but also don't use LFGs that will solve that problem of not having enough friends or not having people to just do things with. You didn't have to call them friends. They're just people who you game with to do whatever you're doing in that game with, be it raids or whatever. But why don't they use LFGs? Why don't these people who are always saying on social media and the Twitch streams and YouTube comment sections saying that they don't have friends to do things with, asking how do you get a stack for raids? How do you get a stack to play ranked in Siege? Or how do you get a stack for Halo and whatever? Why don't they use LFGs? Why have LFGs ultimately failed? Well, the problem with LFGs is located in the communities that use them. LFGs are synonymous with toxicity. You ask those Destiny players why won't they use an LFG, they say they don't want to deal with toxicity or the potential unfair or unrealistic rules that an LFG host will have. These same rules that the hosts don't even apply to themselves. You're playing Destiny 2 and you look at an LFG, and every LFG on the first page says, must know what you're doing, must be a warlock, must have meta heavy weapon, and so on. If you're a casual player who's never done the raid before, this excludes you entirely. You can't join these LFGs because you haven't done the raid. You can't know what you're doing. That's the requirement. You must know what you're doing, but you don't because you never played any of the raids. So the only way you'll know what to do is if you went to go watch a video on YouTube, a very, very long raid guide video, and remember everything by the time you got invited to a raid. This isn't just a Destiny thing. This is just an example. This same issue exists for pretty much every online game that has an LFG. Let's say you are new to Rainbow Six Siege. You've done all the things required for you to start playing ranked, but you don't have a team. So you go check the LFGs and, well, they all say, must have at least a 1.2 KD, donuts get you kicked, and other requirements. Let's say you meet any requirement an LFG has. You get invited. Everyone in the party chat is dropping slurs and being toxic. Now you just feel uncomfortable. Let's say the first 2 rounds don't go well. So now, people are having a shouting match or arguing with each other because one of them is doing bad and the other one, is the host that he's going off. And people are just losing their minds. Or the LFG host tells you to get off an operator that you're good with and playing because they want to play that operator. And if you don't go with the operator, they want to kick you. Even though they themselves aren't a good operator. But that's who they want to play as because they're the host. They're the host. They make the rules. You got to do whatever they say. You got to play whoever they tell you to play. You got to freaking, do what they tell you to do. They are the IGL air quotes because they're the hosts of the LFG. All of it makes with gamers who just don't want to bother with LFGs to avoid this toxicity. Players will forego ever doing a raid in games that have raids. Players will forego ever playing ranked, ever playing a game online in general to avoid dealing with LFG toxicity. But, and this is a big but, not everything is as bad as society and the internet makes it out to be. Yes, there are a lot of people who will hear those examples and say, yeah, that's every LFG I've ever experienced, ever done, or seen posted. But not every LFG is a nightmare story. I owe meeting a few of my longtime gaming buddies to LFGs. Some of those buddies are now actual friends, people who I've met IRL. But it all started with an LFG. My buddy David, also known as Potato on my Twitch chat, I met that garden tool when Destiny 2's first raid came out. Me and a couple of friends didn't have enough people to do the raid with, so I hosted an LFG. Potato was a cool dude, and as I always say, people who are chill will always make a good impression when it comes to people who don't have enough friends for a friend group or anything like that, because people who are chill are fun to play with. So every time I played Destiny since that first raid, I had invited Potato because he seemed like he was a very chill dude. And like I said, I'll invite people who just seem like they're chill. I don't care if you're, good at the game or bad at the game. If you seem chill, like you seem like you're someone who'll be fun to have around, I'm gonna invite you. So years later, and the dude has been to my brother's wedding. No joke. A dude who I met on the LFG has been on my brother's wedding. Another example, a friend named Kirby. We met in the LFG back in Destiny 1. A lot of Destiny in this video. A streamer I knew was doing raids. He asked me to join because, usually if you're going to do if you're going to host raid carries, which is a popular thing in Destiny to do raid carries, especially back in Destiny 1, you bring in one or two people who you can rely on. I was that person who people can rely on because I was very good at Destiny. Kirby was one of those few people who I met helping this streamer, do raid carries. Carries he had also make LG posts for. A handful of them stayed friends the entirety of Destiny 1 and D2. Kirby became an IRL friend, and there's still people from those LGs that I did with that streamer who are some of my friends list when it comes to Xbox. At least I have similar experiences in other games, but you get the gist. LGs can make you long-time gaming friends if you aren't an asshole making rules, requirements, and kick penalties. The idea of an LFG wasn't meant to be some toxic bad player's outlet to find someone to carry them. I say that because there has been a few LFGs where the host sucked at the game. He's having all these requirements for let's say even for Siege, you'll have a requirement like you got to be at least plat or 1.2 KD, while that person is like a silver 2 and has like a 0.5 KD. And it's nothing to judge those who are at those ranks or have that low level of stats. You can be someone who has a 1.9 and be diamond. I've seen it. The point is, the people who have these there's people who do LFGs and who are toxic as hell, has all these crazy requirements who don't even fit their own requirements. But they cuss out and be shitty to people who join to help them. Everything in life has bad apples. Gaming is obviously no different. There will probably be more bad apples that see this video than good, just to be honest, because just as how gaming has been, the last few years. It just seemed like it's just more and more shitty people on the internet side, the social interacting side of gaming than not. But much like I've mentioned in both my social contract video and my advice video, you can't let bad apples prevent you from finding people to game with. Finding people who would be open to helping you or just looking to do the same thing you're doing, but also doesn't have the number of people to do it. All of that to say, you shouldn't fear doing LFGs. You shouldn't avoid them. And I encourage you to host your own LFGs to avoid the toxic people who are hosting their own LFGs. My success stories with LFGs were when I or a friend hosted, not when I joined one that's one else was hosting. Yeah. When I would join one that people were hosting, those were when I myself would experience the toxic behaviors that the LFGs have. Not necessarily towards me, but towards other people who would join in. When it came to me hosting LFGs or my friends who host LFGs, we only had one rule. If you're being toxic, you'll be replaced. That was it. We didn't have a KD rule or rank rule unless you're playing a game where you have to be a certain rank, because some games make it to where you can't play with lower rank tiers. So we would mention hey, this is this is a emerald lobbies. So obviously join accordingly, or this is Onyx and Halo. So if you're not freaking Onyx, you can do duels in Halo for Onyx ranked. So you only look for one other person. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Not so off topic, but we're rambling. There was always someone looking for help. LFGs are always filled with people. You can be replaced. That's the thing you understand when you fear someone who's toxic. You can be replaced. Doesn't matter how good you think you are at the game, you can be replaced. There's always people in LFGs. Find somewhere else for you to be toxic. Play by yourself. If you can't, socialize with people, then you shouldn't be in LFGs. You shouldn't be gaming with people, period. You should just be playing single player games or sitting in a corner with your headset off, listening to music while you play video games, because you don't know how to interact with people. You don't deserve to play with people. Point is, I want to encourage you all who claim to want to make friends, who want to do raids, who wants to stack for whatever rank game they're playing, to actually go out there and do it. Use LFGs. If you truly want those things, you got to get out of your shell and do something about it. Otherwise, you can't whine in people's Twitch chat about not having friends to do this or that with in video games, not having people to play with. But at the same time, you don't do a single thing to change your own social gaming circle, your own social gaming status. It's up to you. You have to be the one who makes a change, who does the thing. You can't just sit and wait and hope people, see you and send you a party invite or an invite to their Discord, or, they tell you in a Twitch chat, hey, you want to, get a gaming together. You have to be the person who gets out of your shell and starts doing LFGs, or, if you're in a game and someone's saying chill and they're talking, you ask that question, hey, do you guys want to squad up? A lot of you who are older gamers, that's how you made a lot of your gaming friends. You were playing NW2, or you're playing Halo 3, or you're playing freaking, Gears of War 2, and you got into a lot of people who seem like just very chill. Everyone's laughing their asshole, having a good time, and you're just like, hey, y'all wanna party together? Since before, I met my biggest circle of friends by just making a joke. It wasn't even a funny joke. First off, I met these people through helping someone else out. I was watching a Twitch stream. This is like it's not even just Twitch. This is just on TV. This is a long time ago. This is just on TV. There's a streamer who was playing, I think it was Bad Company 2. And the Gears of War 3 beta was around the corner. I had beta codes. I tend to always have beta codes. So I had like some extra beta codes, and the guy was like, he was talking about how he really wanted to play Gears of War 3 beta, and I was like, hey, I got a code. I don't mind giving it to you. What's your Xbox gamer tag, and I'll message it to you. So I meet that guy. We played some games about Bad Company 2, because he's also like he's like playing with like 3 friends. And he was like, hey, you want to join in with us in Bad Company 2? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we started playing Bad Company 2, and then started playing Gears of War's beta. And during that, I met other people who also, they recognize, hey, you seem pretty chill. And they also notice in the voice that I'm one of them, if you know what I mean. I'm one of them. So generally, when it comes to gaming, in you're black, you're just about to get a little racial. Not in that way though. Relax. When you're a black gamer, you tend to be drawn to other black gamers. And you notice someone's a black gamer, you kind of want to game with them. So they noticed that, and then we started playing more and more games together. And it got to a point where I started getting around a lot of them. And they all were in a clan at the same time. This is back when clans were like popping off on 360. And during that time, I made a joke where I was like, y'all should put me in y'all clan. I'm very good at video games, and y'all name basically explains me. The team, the clan name was Undiscovered Talent. And I was like, I'm undiscovered and talented. And I kind of like chuckled about it. And then one of the guys who's like one of the the leaders of the group was like, hey, if you want to join in, you're in. So, and that long story is just to say that's how easy it is to make friends. It's just that easy. A lot of it's just being communicative and saying something, and people just start to add you. People start to want to game with you, because people want to game people who are chill. No one wants to game with people who are toxic. If you're an asshole, people don't want to play with you. You have bad energy, people don't want to play with you. So it's up to you. You have to be the one who go out there and make friends. You can't just sit there and hope it just happens to you. You have to do it. But hey, that'll be it for this video. If this video was helpful, leave a comment. If you have positive LFG stories, leave it in the comments to encourage people to do LFGs. Can't get rid of toxicity if we let it fester and never promote things that are actually good and useful. The internet is filled with so much bad shit, and we need to have more positivity in it, and positivity in a good way, not like the negative positivity where it seems like it's being force fed. You're trying to like beat people's head into the ground with it, but just encourage people to be better on the internet. It's simple. With that said, being boy, Anubis Gamer Archer, hope you all enjoyed the video. Do all things algorithm lights, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Follow me on Twitch. The link is below in the description box. I'll see you when I see you. Y'all stay safe. Be kind to others. Free to be kind. I'm out. Deuces.